Boom, just like that, we're up a staggering 75% on MetaPlanet stock just in 21 days. A crazy 200% on Sharplink Gaming. And to top it all off, obviously a measly gain of 60% in Hims and Her stock just in the span of 2 months. That's too long. That's too long. So obviously you're wondering, what do all these three stocks have in common? Obviously, these three stocks were picked by the most muscular, the most handsome, the most alpha puppy KOL with 468 subscribers. And I know the next question, why am I making these minimum wage gains, 15% a year, and not listening to this handsome man? But obviously, I don't know the answer to that question. If I were you, I would have just chucked 100,000 into MetaPlanet stock and obviously walked away with a brand new Range Rover. Okay, so obviously I'm joking. That was just a catchy intro to try to make the video a bit more fun, but this is a serious video, right? Because we are making serious money on the recent calls that we've been talking about, and I think not enough people have been paying attention, right? So maybe the question for this video is, have you been paying attention? And clearly, based off my YouTube views, obviously I suck at making YouTube videos, but clearly not, right? Because if some people took this information and really just copied my trades, they would have made so much money, right? Because this was when I was talking about MetaPlanet stock just about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, yeah, 21st of May. Today is 6th of June or 5th of June. And then this video basically was just 6 days ago, right? And the next day, SBET stock basically, I think it went from like here to something like here, yeah, something like this. So I bought at an average price of around $31, and then I sold some at $120, sold some at $110, and then the last, I think 30% I sold at about $76 and also $96, right? So that comes out to an average gain of 200% in just one day, actually like 1.5 days, right? So that was a very insane day for me. So I think the point of this video is not to flaunt my gains. The point of this video is actually to do an update video on all these stocks that I've been talking about, and also these strategies that I've been looking at, and what I believe and what I'm going to do in the next few weeks and also months, right? Because we are given an opportunity to make money quickly sometimes, right? And we don't want to basically fumble the opportunity, right? So let's start off with these two basically Bitcoin treasury companies. So what am I doing with these two? So Sharplink Gaming, I sold out completely because after really doing the deep dive on it, and I've noticed that actually their fully diluted market cap is not like this. Yeah, now you can see it, right? It's 3.5 billion, right? It's not actually like 20 million or what as it was showing, right? Because this is actually not even the current trading market cap right now. Because I don't think the pipe has been reflected into this price, right? So I think the float is just 2 million shares, while the outstanding shares are actually 71 million, right? And as soon as that finalizes, I think the stock will really tank, right? So the next thing is MetaPlanet stock. I'm still holding all of my MetaPlanet stock, and I bought it at an average cost of $750. I could be up maybe 2.3x if I just didn't average up, right? Because my cost price actually was $600, and then during the next few days I was buying as it was going up also, right? So my last buy was around $800, averaging down to about $750. So what's my plan with MetaPlanet stock? I think I'll just continue waiting for now, because the way they are accumulating Bitcoin is crazy, right? So since I bought the stock, I think their Bitcoin stash has gone up about 2,000 from like 6,000 something to 8,888, right? So for now, I'm just holding MetaPlanet stock. I wouldn't be FOMOing in at this point, right? Because it's trading at like a 6 times NAV. While that allows them to stack more and more Bitcoin faster, right? This is also bad for the new buyers, right? But for the existing buyers, obviously we're very happy, right? Because it's less dilution for more Bitcoin, right? So the next thing that I'm going to talk about is obviously the strategy. This is my treasury company playbook, right? And this is so simple, right? So unfortunately, if anyone lost money on SBET, I think you were just not following the playbook and also getting a bit too greedy, right? Because I did mention that look for small caps below 100 to 200 million, and this was effectively what the market cap was for SBET when they were trading, right? Look for great management. This was what SBET have. And the last thing, right, take profits, because these companies are extremely volatile, right? And when we take a look at SBET stock, how does the stock go up 200% in a day and then go back down 50%? So if you're buying at the peak here, obviously I was already warning people after this, right? After maybe like even $40-50, I said it's quite overvalued. I wouldn't be buying it, right? But obviously I was buying at $31, so I wouldn't be able to really have a clear view on it, right? Because I'm already in at $31. So obviously when it goes to 62, I'm not buying more, right? But someone that doesn't have a position, maybe they will think differently, right? So the next two things is obviously HIMS update. For now, HIMS is actually acquiring a telehealth platform called Zava, right? And this initially spiked the stock a lot to up to $67. This was when I actually had a double in the stock, right? But after that, it traded all the way back down to negative gains, and now we are sitting back at 53, right? This is about right before they announced the Zava news and right before this rally. This was a Friday rally, so maybe someone had insider information or something like that, right? And it rallied all the way here and it's back down here, right? So basically, on the week, no changes. So what's my thoughts on the Zava acquisition? I don't have that much thoughts, but I think it's value accretive, and I think they are gaining like 1 point something million subscribers for the HIMS platform, right? But I don't think it's on the same scale as the HIMS customer, right? Because the HIMS customer is like 70, 80, $90 per month kind of customer, while this Zava platform, I think their monthly active users are just a few dollars, right? So I definitely don't think it's the same scale. But let's see whether HIMS can actually cross-sell some of their platform or some of their products to these new Zava users, right? Next, we take a look at the next Bitcoin treasury play I'm looking at. This is DG Asia Corporation, right? And this is what I'm looking for, right? $50-60 million market cap. This is something that I'm looking at. Obviously, it doesn't fit my second criteria of great management, but I'm using the sharp link profits to trade this, right? I am not by any means putting anything more than the sharp link profits back into these Bitcoin treasuries anymore. And in fact, I've already mentioned that I'm going to start scaling down this treasury place, right? Because after FAAS, I'm probably going to do 1 or 2 more, and I'm probably done with this whole sector, right? Because I knew that I was early when we were at the first maybe 50 or 70 treasury companies, but now you can see every day that they are announcing new treasury companies, right? And I think all the same eyes are looking at all these treasury companies. So they are rotating their capital through all these companies. You can see this went from 19 cents to a peak of about, I think it was 150. And then now it's down 50%, right? So do I think the run is over? Absolutely not, right? Because I think that we are still quite early compared to, I think it's going to go to like maybe 500 or 1,000 companies. At that time, I think you'll be like almost like fully trying to exit all this thing, right? Because at that time you'll start to see like Wall Street bets, people saying, oh my god, this is a free money glitch, when they're making like 20-30% maybe a day or something like that, right? Obviously at that point of time we will want to sell out of these companies, right? Because this is clearly a bubble, right? And I have mentioned this many times, right? I think this is a bubble, but I think we're in the early phases of the bubble, so I think I want to take advantage of it, right? Because I see it early as well. So you guys are getting a better entry price than me, because I didn't make the video after I bought the shares, right? Because I wasn't that sure about this company at first, and I was buying in slowly, right? So I first bought in about $1.30, and I've been averaging down for the past few days, right? Because you can see that over actually just the past 2 or 3 days is down 50%, right? So there's a lot of opportunity for me to be buying here. I think something like this, they can get up to a 500 million market cap is not unthinkable to me, or even $1 billion market cap, right? Because you can see that their treasury strategy is actually 100 million Bitcoin treasury, right? So why wouldn't they be able to get to 100 million and then maybe even potentially 200 or 300 when they start issuing the ATM, right? Because you can see MetaPlanet actually had the same phenomenon happening, right? They announced somewhere here and then they flatline, right? And this flatline is obviously because the company didn't run as hard, right? Or you could say that somewhere here they ran and then they crashed here also, right? This is also a 50% drop, right? From peak to trough. And this is also another like, what, 80% drop? I think 300 to 60. So that's a 80% drop, right? So these stocks are incredibly volatile, right? So don't play if you can't handle the volatility. Don't over invest, right? Because obviously I am not that panicked for this 50% drop, because I'm using like 50% of the profits from Sharplink Gaming, right? So for me, I think of it as a free roll. Obviously I already sold out and I already realized my profits, but for me, I'm still thinking of it as a free roll, right? Because this is the time to take a bit more risk. to kind of juice up our portfolio returns, right? So the next thing is obviously the Mumu portfolio update, because today is actually the 5th of June, right? And we can see that the Mumu portfolio is doing quite well, right? It's up almost $3,000, and this is a portfolio reminder that we started about 3 months ago, right? So if anyone didn't watch my initial video for this, the gist of it is just that I put $10,000 and every month I add $1,000, and the point of this account is to simulate like a real-time someone saving for retirement kind of account. And you can see that the position is about up like 27%, maybe less than that, because it's $12,000, right? It's not $10,000. But basically I've added in another $1,000 today, and I think I'm going to buy this FAAS, right? Just as a speculative play. If you're enjoying the video so far, do help me smash up the like button, hit subscribe, and also hit the bell button. This will help out the channel immensely, and I thank you very much. So if I buy $1,000 worth of FAAS, it's about 7.5% of the portfolio, right? And I think we are still early in this, and I think there's outsized gains to be made. So again, right, I want to stress that if you're taking a look at all these stocks, obviously do it at your own risk. This is a speculative play, right? I want to make that as clear as possible, right? Don't see that, oh, this guy made 200% in Sharplink in a day. That means he's a genius. That means he knows 100% what he's doing, right? I'm literally telling you, I'm speculating right now, and if you decide to follow, that's on your own risk and your own risk management, right? So again, follow the playbook, right? Because imagine you are in this Sharplink stock at like 30, and then it goes all the way here to like what, 150. It doesn't even show here, right? It went up to like 120 or something like that, and then it's all the way back down to 50, and you panic sell, and you basically get out at like break even, right? If you buy at like 50 and it went to like 120 and then it's back down to 50, so you get down at break even and you're like, oh my god, this game is so rigged, blah blah blah, how can it be so volatile? So in the first place, how can it rally 200% in a day? Because the stock itself is a very volatile stock. So yeah, the video was a bit messy, but I think this is really an update video of what I'm doing, how I'm thinking right now, and where I see the opportunity right now, right? So obviously I want to take a lot of the profits from all these like crypto treasury companies and put it back into some actual companies, right? Operating companies like HIMS, or maybe operating companies like Wise. These are all names that I like, and I see a huge long-term future, right? So currently my portfolio is separated into 2 segments. One segment is like the crypto treasury companies or current trades. Another segment, actually it's 3 segments, right? Another segment is special situations, right? This is where Fubo and also potentially Freddie Mac might be inside, right? Because they are not really affected by the broad market. They are more affected. Obviously, their trading prices are affected by the broad market, but their fundamentals are not affected by the broad market, right? It's more to do with regulation as well as deal making, right? That's why they are special situations, right? And the third part, which is still the majority of my portfolio and will remain the majority of my portfolio, is operating companies, right? These are stocks like Evolution AB, JD.com, Hims and Hers Health, and Google, right? So these are the few companies that are in it, and Wise, right? So in the next few weeks and months, I think my focus will be on the treasury companies, and as I cut down on the treasury companies, it will rotate more. I will rotate more capital into special situations and also operating companies, right? So yeah, hopefully this has given you a very good overview of where my head is at, where I see the opportunity. So I hope you guys use this not as a template to copy what kind of tickers I'm looking at and what stocks I'm trading, but as to a framework, right? A mental framework. So if you're a stock picker, you can actually pick better stocks. So if you're a stock picker, this will help you really outperform the market, and this kind of framework will really help you think through like how to make better and better decisions, right? And I think if that's what you can get out of my YouTube videos, is much better than tickers, right? Because I can tell you a ticker, but do you get out exactly when I tell you to get out? Because why did I get out? $31 up to, even if it was a double within one day, I would have sold half of my position, right? So that's a risk-free position. But I'm just afraid that some people will take my advice for buying, but not take my advice for selling, right? Because they are thinking it's up 200% a day. The next day it's going to be up another 200%. Why should I sell now? And the reason you sell is because even if you sell at a a double and you take your risk off and it doubles from there, what is it to you, right? You have taken your capital out, you are limiting risk, right? And this is the point of managing portfolios as well as active management, right? We are risk managers, right? We are not here to make the most amount of money. We are here to make the most amount of risk adjusted money, right? So yeah, that's about all I wanted to share today. If you did enjoy the video, do help me smash up the like button, hit subscribe, and also hit the bell button. With that being said, have a fantastic day ahead and peace out.